that we are now getting in, and I believe these are visuals coming in of a roadshow that is about to begin in Jharkhand. Remember, the Prime Minister is in Deogarh, Jharkhand. We just heard from him a short while ago. This is as far as a mega Vikas push in Deogarh in Jharkhand is concerned. We are expecting a roadshow also now to begin shortly. Maria Shakil, our political editor, is now joining us with more details. Maria, first talk to us about the projects that were on the anvil as far as the inauguration is concerned by the Prime Minister.
So this is an interesting project as far as the second inauguration of the Prime Minister is concerned. This has to do with an AIMS. The emphasis on AIMS that we have seen by the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ever since he came to power in 2014 is something that is being highlighted. During the last 8 years, 16 AIMS have been approved. Out of these 16 AIMS, MBBS classes and OPD services have started in 10 new AIMS. Limited IPD services have also been operationalized in 6 AIMS as well. And there has been also a significant increase in undergraduate seats, which was around 51,000 before 2014 to around 90,000 seats, which is at present. The Prime Minister's push comes on the backdrop of the message that is coming from the BJP and the central government of their Look East policy, that Jharkhand, and we are seeing the presence of the Chief Minister as well. Hemant Soren is present on all the events. So the message is clear that this is about the state government as much as it is about the center. He is following the protocols, which must be followed by all chief ministers. He is present in the meeting, the first event, which was of the inauguration of the new airport at Deoghar. Deoghar Airport becomes important because that is the second international airport that Jharkhand is getting after Ranchi. Again, as I pointed out, there has been that push that has been made by the government of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi to increase the infrastructure, to increase better connectivity, and that is the reason why he is in Deogarh in the state of Jharkhand. Just few years ago, the BJP did have a government in Jharkhand. The BJP lost the government, of course, in the elections. Now we are seeing the roadshow that has begun. The message from the Prime Minister is that these are states which may be ruled by the opposition, but the BJP believes in ensuring that these states are also properly connected with the connectivity doesn't suffer. As far as the larger infrastructure push in the country is concerned, it has to be uniform and universal. It should not be distributed on the basis of which state is governed by the BJP, which is not. So center's major Vikas push is evident now from here. The Prime Minister then heads to the state of Bihar, Correct. The neighboring state, where he will be speaking at the Centenary celebrations of Bihar Assembly. So interesting visuals that are coming in. Jharkhand may be one of the smallest states of the country, but it is also one of the richest states in the terms of its minerals that it has. But most of these minerals remain unexplored. And that is the reason why the emphasis is on ensuring infrastructure, connectivity. That's been the nature of Prime Minister's push, which is happening in several parts of India.
Right. Maria, so as you rightly pointed out, yes, the airport is very, very crucial. It has been constructed at an estimated cost of around 400 crores, and we're understanding it is equipped to handle about 5 lakh passengers annually. The other aspect that I want to discuss with you is we're also understanding the Prime Minister will also dedicate an inpatient department and operation theatre services again at AIMS Deogarh. Do we have any more details on how this could help as far as the health infrastructure is concerned?
Yes, so the state of Jharkhand, in terms of the health infrastructure, it is very limited. Not every district or multiple districts go without proper health infrastructure. That is the reason why an AIMS of this nature will ensure better healthcare services. It will also ensure that there are better OPD services and overall, in terms of specialty healthcare which is needed. that will be given, and it will also create a larger pool of doctors and health workers in the region. And that is the reason why this push of building AIIMS in multiple states of India is something that the Prime Minister has undertaken. This in turn will also ensure that the number of doctors all over the country also increase. And that is the reason why, when I was saying that the number of PG seats have increased by 93%, from around 31,000 before 2014 to around 60,000 seats, which is at present. But politically speaking, Ridhima, it is also coming at a time when the current Chief Minister is facing questions and facing charges of corruption, which has stopped at his doorsteps. But the larger message that is coming from the center is that is something that the Chief Minister has to handle. But as far as the state's growth and development is concerned, the show must go on.
Maria, just speaking specifically as far as the roadshow is concerned, we can see massive crowd who've lined up, I beg your pardon, just to try and get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. Could you just give us a sense of how long are we expecting in terms of kilometers this roadshow, and what is going to be next on the itinerary of the Prime Minister?
The movement of the cavalcade of the Prime Minister, if you look at it. But because the Prime Minister is in a state where perhaps the roads are not that wide, so you're able to see a lot of people who are on both the sides of the roads wanting to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. From here, he moves to the AIIMS center, where the inauguration of the AIIMS center actually takes place, and then Prime Minister takes a flight to the neighboring state of Bihar. But as I said, the infrastructure push is something that has been very, very key in Prime Minister Modi's story of India. The vision that he has for various states, the vision he wants to have for the larger push for big developmental projects. 16,000 crore in all. Foundation stone for these projects have been laid during this visit to Deogarh. We are seeing that Prime Minister now waving at the crowd which has gathered. He will also be laying the foundation stone for multiple road projects as well. And Deoghar Airport, constructed across 657 acres. It's one of the biggest airports in the country. It will be. It's the second international airport, as I pointed out, after Ranchi, for the state of Jharkhand. The first flight, interestingly, will be departing to Kolkata on today itself. So it's interesting. It will be an Indigo flight. So all those who are perhaps on that first flight, it will be a historic moment for them.
Right. Maria, let's also now talk about the other projects that we're going to see being unveiled or inaugurated by the Prime Minister. I believe the Prime Minister will inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple road projects, which is worth more than 10,000 crores. These will include 6-laning of Gorhar to Barwada section of NH2, widening of certain sections as well, and then there are certain railway projects as well.
Yes, so there are a number of road and rail projects which will be inaugurated, and at the same time foundation stone for those will be laid by the Prime Minister today. So that push that we are seeing for the state of Jharkhand becomes important in all. This is about having a vision for a state that it needs multiple support. This, of course, when we say Deoghar Airport has been the much awaited airport for the people of the state, but in terms of other projects, there is this and the larger sentiment around Deogarh Airport is also that it will provide direct connectivity to Baba Badrinath Dham. The terminal building of the airport is equipped to handle over 5 lakh passengers annually, is what we are being told. And the projects being inaugurated by the Prime Minister also includes the development of 2 large pilgrimage congregation halls with a capacity of 2,000 pilgrims each. There is a project also at Jalsad Lakefront, which is an iconic place in the state. Also Shivganga Pond development project, which is there. Prime Minister will be inaugurating and laying the foundation stone of multiple road projects worth around 10,000 crore. He will also inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of various energy infrastructure projects around 3,000 crore for the region. So the message that is coming from the center is that it is about a complete holistic development of the state, and it should not lag behind.
Right. So, Mara, then you're rightly pointing out that post this roadshow, post that inauguration of the AIMS in Deogarh, which will of course be a big boost as far as health infrastructure is concerned, the Prime Minister will then move to the neighbouring state, which is Bihar. There we are understanding the Prime Minister will address the closing ceremony of the centenary celebrations of Bihar Legislative Assembly. We are also understanding he will inaugurate the Shatabdi Smriti Stambh, which has been built to commemorate 100 years of Bihar Vidhan Sabha. Could we have some details about those as well?
Yes, so as far as the Bihar Assembly is concerned, it's going to be an important day for Bihar. Because the Prime Minister will be addressing, in fact, participating in the concluding function of Bihar's Assembly centenary celebrations, and he will be laying the foundation stone for a museum, as that museum that about which you were just speaking about. In fact, he had also tweeted about it last evening that the foundation stone of the Vidhan Sabha museum will also be laid by him. Security has been enhanced. It will be interesting to watch the equation of Prime Minister Modi and the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, at that event, because it will be a moment of history. This will be a historic moment, an occasion for Bihar, because of the centenary celebrations. 100 years of an assembly is certainly is certainly a moment in history for the members who have been of the Legislative Assembly and members who have watched it from a distance. So, and Bihar, for example, is among limited states of India, Ridhima, which has a bicameral legislature, which means it has an assembly and also a legislative council. But the Prime Minister, of course, will be participating for the 100 years of the Bihar Assembly. He will lay the foundation stone of the museum, which is showcasing 100 years of that house. The moments which would define the politics of Bihar, those who were members of the legislature, who were MLAs in that assembly, and what was the message as far as that assembly is concerned. Prime Minister will also unveil a 40 feet high Shatabdi Stambh, which is a centenary column at the House complex. President Ramnath Kovind, in fact, last year laid the foundation of stone for it during his Bihar visit to address the lawmakers as part of the centenary celebrations.
Right. Maria, quickly, now two things that I want to understand from you. We are now understanding that the Prime Minister has enthroned the Baba Baidyanath temple. What is the significance of that one? And largely speaking, what is the significance of the Prime Minister being in Deogarh today, politically speaking?
Yes, so politically speaking, I think it is about sending a message that each and every state of India is very crucial for the BJP and for the center. This is the visit of the Prime Minister to a state which needs a development push. That development push is coming irrespective of the state being governed by the BJP or by opposition party. Here is the case of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. So the message is loud and clear that this is about ensuring that none of the states of India fall off the development roadmap, and each and every state are included in it.
Okay, we'll try and re-establish that connection with Mara, but as we pointed out, the Prime Minister is currently on his way to the Baba Baidyanath temple. Massive crowd has lined up to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister.